Yeah, I'd say go buy a gun because you need a gun, and nobody starts their hunting experience with like a bow.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Campfire Chats with the John Boat Bandits. So we're just out here. We're just chilling by the campfire. We're got a little time here in Aberdeen. I just want to come out here and talk about just our experience with outdoors, why we like it, why we love it. We hope we know that you have some similar experiences. If not, hopefully you can come make some with us. We got Caleb, Tyler, and Walker, and our special friend Luke over here. We're really excited to have him out here. We know he's a little bit of yee and a little bit of roll tide, I guess. So a little more hell state than that. We've convinced him into it.
I've grown into it.
Yeah. So Caleb, let me ask you, how did you get started in the outdoors? Like, what's your outdoor story, I guess?
Well, growing up, my dad, he was fairly outdoorsy, so he would always take me and my brother hunting and fishing and stuff like that. And so that's where I got introduced to it. And then through high school, really where I got into it was when I'd go camping with friends, and we'd go take our truck and park it, and do hood rat stuff like throw spray paint bottles on the fire and stuff like that. And I was just like, I love the outdoors and being able to do stuff like that. And then of course clean up after ourselves, trying to make sure we didn't catch the woods on fire. So
yeah, so you mentioned like your dad taking you when you were younger, and you and your brother. So recently, I know you've kind of increased in that. How does that make your dad feel, like to know that you get to take him out on your boat and stuff like that right now?
Yeah, so like my dad, we get to go fishing, and like I took him jugging the other day, and he loves it. We caught this huge, like probably 10-pound catfish, blue cat. That was huge, and I don't know, just it was cool to be able to do that with my dad, who like introduced me to fishing, and round circle. So.
I mean, most circles are round.
Yeah.
So
3.14.
So Tyler, what about you? How'd you get your introductions to the outdoors? And it's kind of fed into your major and everything now, right?
Yeah. So I think going along with what Caleb was saying, like, my dad really introduced me into the outdoors at a very young age. Like, I think he bought me my first rifle when I was still like in diapers, and so yeah, it's very safe to give a 2-month-old a 243. But hey, I still have it, so I mean, I guess it stuck. But I guess I just grew up like before I could even talk. I was in the woods. Like he would be in the deer stand, and like deer would come out, and I couldn't even see him. I would have to like stand up where he was sitting just to look. But he would aim, and then he'd like tell me to pull the trigger, and I would like pull the trigger, and he would just like take it. But I was like literally killing deer in my diapers. But I think like that kind of stuff like just kind of fed into a love for the outdoors, and then that also fed into a love just to want to be outside. And so that made me get really interested in the Boy Scouts, and so I was able to learn how to do everything I loved, but in like the correct way. So like how to build a fire, like how to survive in the woods, how to camp, and different things like that. I'm still not great at, but I at least have some things in my back pocket that I can pull out every now and then. And then I think in middle school, I did youth tournament fishing when I was young for bass, and so that was really cool. We were able to go to Pickwick Lake a lot. We went to Gunnersville Lake one time, and I was able to that's one of my PBs in a tournament was at Gunnersville Lake, and it was really cool. But in middle school, I started fishing at my neighbor's pond, and like that's also how I really grew my relationship with Christ. And so I'd go fishing by myself and would literally just like fish for hours on end, but the repetitive movement that I didn't even have to think about because it was muscle memory, I could sit there and do that, and I could just sit there and talk to God, pray, and just think, and also be quiet, and just be in solitude with Him was something that I really miss, honestly. It's really hard to like sneak away to some random pond and just like fish where He's bush hogged a lane for me all around the pond. So like, I don't know, but I think growing up with that, and then growing up just hunting and fishing, and that has really led me into a place now where I've made it my major. I get more enjoyment out of watching someone else get a fish into the boat than I get out of getting a fish into the boat. Like, it's awesome to see my hard work pay off, but it's also awesome to see the hard work pay off along with someone else experiencing something they've experienced. But if you ever want to know about weird fish facts, I'll edit that because I got them.
Yeah, you stay watching our videos and you'll find some weird fish facts. All of us learned a lot about Gasper Goo drums earlier last night. So, and we just finished tuning a gar, so that was all new stuff. YouTube videos like taught us how to do it, and then we just did it. So that's pretty neat.
Yep.
So Luke, what about you? What you got going for you?
Well, ever since as long as I can remember, my granddad would take us all hunting over in Louisiana. We'd go to his land for the holidays, and we'd take a day or two and go hunting. Sometimes spend the night there, and then just wake up 4 in the morning, go look for deer, kill them if they come out. And I grew up more of a hunter than a fisherman. They've been teaching me a lot this weekend that I didn't know, but now I know, and so I get to use and tell others about it too. But one thing I just love about nature is like the peace you get. It's like there's no craziness of the world. There's no people around you trying to tell you what to do. It's just you. Like Tyler said, it's just you and God. You can do whatever you want, but God's always there to talk to. And it's just a good time to grow to and like learn about how nature works. And whenever the world is inconsistent, nature is consistent. And so I just love the outdoors, and it's just awesome. Thanks to my granddad for that. Yeah.
What about you, Walker?
Go granddad. So me, I remember my very first gun I got when I was like 7 maybe. It was a 243 20 gauge shotgun and a 22 rifle that you just change the barrels out. And so I would use a 22, kind of shoot things here and there. The very first time I used a 20 gauge shotgun, I got a black eye from it. We were shooting a squirrel in the tree next to our yard. But I do remember the first thing that I finished killing. Huh?
Did it have a scope?
No scope.
Okay.
I think for the 243 we had the scope, not for that one. But I think my very first kill was a dove that my dad had already shot down. I shot in the head with a BB gun. So I remember that. But yeah, one thing is it's always with my dad. It started off mainly hunting. My dad used to fish tournaments and stuff like that, but that he sold the boat once we got kind of older, didn't have so much time for it. So I didn't really get into fishing until I was 15, and I could drive, go fishing ponds, and do all that cool stuff. But then I was like fishing just like every day, and so I mean even now I'm fishing like every week. But it's one of the things that I am very blessed to be able to call my dad. Last night when our motor was broke, I was like, he doesn't know how to fix it, but he could at least tell me some parts to look at. And so I know not everybody has that opportunity, and so it's just really been blessed to have the opportunity to call him and just say, or send him a picture of like, hey, saw this deer, hey, saw this squirrel, and me and Caleb even got to take him out, and he got to gig his first frog the other day, and it just made him like super duper happy. He was like, hey, take my picture with it, and just the joy that I had inside of that, to have that moment with him, who's been in the outdoors all his life, it's just been really incredible. And so one of the things I've really enjoyed about being a part of the John Boat Bandits is just being able to have more freedom of the foundation that he has built, is to really engage with others and teach them that, like Tyler was talking about, with taking others out to the outdoors and just seeing that enjoyment. And even with Ethan over there behind the camera, like I don't know if he's going to care about learning any of this, but he's going to learn it anyway. So we'll catch him something good one day. He's giving us an affirmation, so we're pretty pumped about that. So Luke, if you could give your best or funniest moment in the outdoors that you've ever had, do you have one on the top of your head?
Think for a second. Funniest one in the outdoors. One of them that really comes to my mind, it didn't happen to me, but it happened to my dad and my cousin Christian. So several years ago, my cousin was sighting in his 243, and he shot it and got a black eye like you did with the 20 gauge.
Yep.
And everyone was sitting there laughing at him. And then several years later, my dad killed a 7-point, and he cut his eye. And we all got back to the camp, and my cousin Christian said, "Karma sucks, don't it?" And that's been our joke. Like ever since we go back to the camp, we say it every single year. Karma sucks, don't it?
Nice. Hey, so Tyler, so one of the things, like we're kind of experienced, we're still kind of novice. We're working our way up. But if somebody was watching this video and they're like, "Wow, these are cool stories for these guys," but this sounds really fun. Like I want to get introduced into hunting and fishing. Like what would be like your first steps? Like how do I do that? How do I begin? Because it's just seems like a vast amount of knowledge. How do I even begin that? What would you say to somebody like that?
I would definitely say like watch our videos, like because I mean the biggest thing is like we also don't know what we're doing. We're just like we know a little bit, and then we're just having a good time in between on our learning journey. But I will say like follow the legal limits, and so don't try to just be like I'm just gonna go grab a rod from Walmart and just like go to my nearest body of water and fish. Like make sure you're gonna like you're going to not get a ticket when you go, because that's going to make you not want to go fishing again, because game wardens don't play. All right, let me just tell you that right now. I will say they do it for the safety of you and the outdoors, but sometimes they aren't the nicest when they do it. So say make sure you're legal, make sure you're getting your licenses. If you need help with that, it is some of the easiest Google searches you can do. Sometimes, as we found out this weekend, sometimes the systems will be down when you go into the stores. But what you can always do is call in or do it online. But that's really if you're only an in-state resident or if you're willing to pay for the out-of-state residency. But find out what you can do. Also, like just call a game warden. Call the. For us, it's the Mississippi Fish and Wildlife Department. Call them. Just see what they're doing. And they can answer pretty much all your questions. Another thing is start small. All right, you don't have to go alligator hunting your first time you go. All right, that's intense. That is a lot. Tags.
We're
and
still working our way up to
stuff.
that.
Yeah, we're not even there yet.
One day.
One day. But like, go grab a nice spinning rod, which is we can show you some of those later on. Which is an easy rod to learn. It's an easy rod to use. It doesn't take a lot of like learning to it, but then once you get it, you can use it on any type of fish, on any type of water. And I would say just get a nice starter pack. Don't go crazy on your baits. Just get some good crankbaits, some good bottom baits, and some good topwater baits, and then just go at it. Like you can sit down and watch YouTube videos all day long. You can read articles all day long, but the best way you will learn is just get out there and go. Mm-hmm. Also, find some friends. Yeah. Find some buddies. Find some just people who are like-minded individuals or just want to learn alongside of you, and that is the best way that you will get a really great introduction into the wilderness, I guess. But also, again, like start small, just have fun. Like don't get too stressed out. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
And we can put some links into the bottom with like spinning rod combos that are good for beginners, different beginner baits. And like websites, for Mississippi and Alabama as far as like where to get licensed and stuff like that. So you can check that out.
Yeah, Caleb. So that's about fishing. Caleb, what would you suggest a beginner hunting? What's the first step for hunting?
Yeah, I'd say go buy a gun because you need a gun, and nobody starts their hunting experience with like a bow. So go get a gun, or if your family has a gun they could pass down, you could use that. But yeah, same as Tyler said, obey the law, make sure that you're in a place where it's legal to hunt if you're hunting on public land, and make sure that you follow all regulations, so like wear orange. If you're climbing a tree stand, be sure you tell other people where you're going so that they know to look out for you. But I'd say also, like, I wouldn't just go without somebody experienced. Like, you need to go with somebody who's at least cleaned a deer before so that you can know how to process it and things like that. 'Cause it's one thing to shoot it, but that's half your job. The other half is cleaning it and getting it to the table. And so you need somebody to show you how to do that maybe once or twice, so that you aren't having this dead deer rotting in your garage or something. So
that'd be a good idea.
People are like more than willing to help a new person who wants to get into the sport, because like the thing is, like, the honest truth, and this is from like classes that I have, license sales are going down for fishing and hunting, and so people are literally not going fishing and hunting anymore. That means there is a ton of public land, a ton of public access that are just not being utilized anymore. And so, like, find someone who goes hunting and fishing and ask them, hey, can I go with you? And if you're persistent, I promise you they'll take you, and you'll have the time of your life.
Go to a local Mississippi Baptist church and you'll find one.
Yeah, that's the truth.
But
yeah. One of the things Caleb mentioned was shooting is just half the process, and cleaning is the other. The reason a lot of us are out here for hunting and fishing, it's awesome and it's really fun, but I mean, the meat is really good to eat.
It is.
So that's deer, squirrels, alligator gar,
Yeah.
We'll find out later today.
Yeah.
But that's really one of my biggest enjoyments, is like all the different things you get to cook with it and get to experience, and it's like, where it came from, it's mostly healthier. It's different things like that. It's responsibly sourced at least. And so
organic. as some people would say.
I don't know about that.
yeah, and so it's just really neat to not have to buy stuff, but also to say like, hey, I worked hard for this, and now I get to serve other people with eating it. So it's really cool to be able to do that. So
Yeah.
that's one of the big things is the food that it brings in, feeding the family.
That's true.
Well, that's all the time we got right now for our Campfire Chats with the John Boat Bandits.
That's right.
So we thank you for joining. If there's anything that we talked about you want to ask us more about, or like hit us up anytime, leave a comment. But if you like listening and hanging out with us, we'll have some more Campfire Chats coming soon. So be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel. We got a lot of awesome content. Check us out on Instagram. Follow John Boat Bandits, but hey, you can give us a follow each. You know, it's like we're on there. So Luke does follow for everybody.
Everybody.
He's a nice guy like that.
Yeah,
Me, I'm just growing my influencer amount. So, so either way, thank
Very
y'all
humble.
for joining. Be sure to do all the stuff down below. That'll be next. All that good stuff. So, John Boat Bandits.
Woo.
Fire Pop did that. It was kind of cool.
Oh my god.